Maybe we want to begin with some fabulous news that I know makes Rosie's day, makes my day, makes our day, and that is with congratulations to the fabulous Barbra Streisand for becoming the first artist in history to hit #1 on the Billboard chart for 6 decades. 6 decades in a row. And might I add, she wasn't out on the concert stage. She hasn't shaken anything. She hasn't bared anything. All she did was open her mouth and sing with amazing singers, and congrats.
You're not kidding. That's the lady.
That's right.
And in honor of it, we're giving you all her new DVD.
From Brooklyn. All kinds of stuff going on. I mean, it's an amazing day because history will also be made in the Bronx this evening because my captain, Derek Jeter, is playing his last home game. I know I'm devastated, but I know you're devastated too, Rosie.
I am beyond devastated. Full disclosure, I am from Brooklyn. I do like the Mets, but I am in love with the Yankees, and I am in love with Derek Jeter. Yeah. I think he's the most stand-up guy. He's never had a scandal. You know, he's always been professional, and he will never be forgotten, especially over that flip with the Oaklands. He did this amazing pass, flip to Jose Posada, and he's just amazing.
He's fabulous.
Yes, he is fabulous. And in the day and age of all the scandal with athletes, he's a good guy to look up to.
Do you know how much it costs to go, though?
I do know how much it costs to go.
$150 for a ticket tonight, so it's really
150 bucks?
800.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I don't think it costs 150 on a normal day.
You know, and it's really conflicting because on one hand you could say that's really too bad because so many of his fans won't be able to afford to see his last game at Yankee Stadium. We'll all be watching, but I think he is worth it. He is worth that high price.
Yeah. But how about this? For those of you who I guess maybe have been living under a rock and you don't know what we're talking about in terms of Derek Jeter, you don't know how fabulous he was. Here is a tribute to 2 of his greatest moments on the field using Legos. Take a look.
1-2. He loops that to left field. Going to be a tough play. Jeter on the run, makes the play. Wow. And flies into the stands. That one's drilled deep to left field. Going back, Joyce. Looking up. See ya. 3,000. History with an exclamation point.
And that fantasy, the commercial with his fantasies send-off when he tells his driver, I want to walk.
Yeah, it will bring you to tears. And maybe if we're lucky, we'll get to show it tomorrow. Maybe we'll be able to show it.
I thought you said we're lucky we'll get Derek Jeter on the show.
Well, that's all.
Okay.
All kind of things can happen. You don't know.
Okay.
You don't know when. Well, you might just get a surprise. We can't say when, but who knows? Anyway.
Is there any way we could get Olaf here?
Olaf was here,
no,
and
I mean,
he melted.
I saw him. He was, Josh was great.
I mean, the snowman. You talking about the snowman.
Olaf.
Yeah, he was here, and here's what happened with Olaf. You know, we all knew, because he's a snowman. We sort of knew. Apparently, the studio forgot.
Oh, no.
And had the lights on.
Ooh.
And so, you know how we usually have people walk out? Baby, when they open that door, a puddle of water just rolls. So, he says the next time we do him, we have to come to him, and which I totally understand. It's understandable.
I'll bring Elsa, and she'll freeze him back up.
She'll do it. Now, we're speaking about sports, which I know some of you are going, huh? But it's important because one of the biggest voices on ESPN, Bill Simmons, has been silenced by his bosses over this epic rant on his podcast. Take a listen.
I just think not enough is being made out of the fact that they knew about the tape and they knew it was on it. Yeah. Goodell, if he didn't know what was on that tape, he's a liar. I'm just saying it. He is lying. I think that dude is lying. If you put him up on a lie detector test, that guy would fail. And for all these people to pretend they didn't know is such. It really is. It's such. For him to go on that press conference and pretend otherwise, I was so insulted. I really hope somebody calls me or emails me and says I'm in trouble for anything I say about Roger Goodell.
I think it's pretty safe.
If one person says that to me, I'm going public. You leave me alone.
The
commissioner's a liar, and I get to talk about that on my podcast.
So here's what happened. ESPN says they didn't suspend him for criticizing Goodell. They did it because he called his bosses out and said Goodell was a liar, like it was an established fact and not his opinion. Now, really?
I think that the person who says out loud and on the air what everybody is thinking is always the hero. And I think that this guy said, well, no, Goodell is the head of the NFL. He did a news conference on Sunday. And a lot of people felt what Simmons said. And I think the fact that he's being punished only elevates Simmons and lowers all the people who, it's starting to look like they're all, like it's a cabal. That the NFL pays so much money to ESPN.
Him dropping the F-bomb not once, twice, 3, 4 times. I think that's it. I totally agree with him.
And again, I think this goes back to the Ray Rice scandal. Just so people know,
he should have stated that it was his opinion that he's a liar. It hasn't been proven that he's a liar. I think that's a point.
This is his podcast. I mean, if you watch him, you watch to hear his opinion. I mean, I think that's understood. I think listeners are really smart about this stuff, and I think that he was saying something that a lot of people that have followed the Ray Rice scandal, that a lot of people believe that the NFL knew exactly what Ray Rice had done at the time. I know you said that on our first day of the show, that this has been out for a long time. And I think punishing someone who speaks a truth that a lot of people believe is always going to come back and bite them in the butt.
I think you're right. And I think with social media, now, the playing field is getting equal.
For sure.
Because even though ESPN is a big corporation, I believe owned by the same corporation that owns this show, the guy does have his own podcast, even if it lives on the website of ESPN, where he shares his own personal opinions. So let's say he is fired, I'm sure, with those blue eyes. I've never seen him before today. And I'm a lesbian and he's a hottie. But anyway, don't ask me. I'm going through hormonal changes. Something happened. I looked at him, the blue eyes. Yes, but I think that the blogosphere and video and Vine, you're allowed to say whatever truth is yours and put it out there. So I support him, even though he did say... Is that what he was saying?
Oh, I don't know.
That was us. Yeah. I'm sorry. I got
Andrea Martin. You're mixing up. It's okay.
You're mixing blue eyes here. You know, how about this? A parenting expert posted a blog warning parents that they could be raising mean girls without knowing it. She lists a guide to raising nice girls, like encouraging them to help others, create a positive environment, and not being sarcastic towards them. And the question is, I guess, can sarcasm make a girl go mean?
I think there are other things that can make a girl grow mean, starting with the socialization of girls in elementary school. We take a lot of the power away from girls, where boys, and it's fact, boys hands are risen, the boys' hand get picked before the girls. And girls are just as alpha as males. So when you take their power away, they start to turn on each other. I think that that's where it begins, and I also think it begins at home too. There's these mean girls and boys on the subway. There's an old lady needs a seat, and they don't get up. The empathy is thrown right out the window.
I agree with you. And I used to see these stories about online bullying and say, where are the parents when their kids are bullying other girls online? And the online bullying is more girls than boys. You know where they are? They're on Twitter bashing us. I mean, parents who are nasty on Twitter have to be raising kids who, and I'm sure that if you're an adult and you're on Twitter, your kid can see what you're tweeting about. And I think this whole culture of desensitizing people about civility, about feelings, and thinking that you know, anything that you want to say from the comfort of your own laptop goes, is what's raising a whole generation of not just mean girls, but mean boys.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're not mean girls. We are loud girls, but we're not mean girls. And because we're not, we're going to go and come right back with more Hot Topics.
Excellent.
Coming up, Viola Davis is talking about this season's most scandalous sexy new series.
How to Get Away with Murder.
And ABC World News Tonight anchor David Muir joins Hot Topics.
This might be one of my favorite stories ever. The CEO of a $2 trillion investment firm was presented a list by his 10-year-old daughter of all the milestones he missed while he was at work, like her first day of school, recitals, and parent-teacher conferences. He was so devastated, the man quit his job. He quit his job. Is this something, if you could do, would you do?
if you could.
I did it.
So, I mean, we were just talking about this. It's beautiful, and I hope she goes into politics because she's very persuasive. But he's making a lot of money. But it's a luxury, you know. And this conversation usually takes place about women, and they sort of pit working moms against stay-at-home moms, as though we all have a choice. I mean, you know, these stories move me because I think everyone is moved by their kid, but the actual reaction is available to very few people.
I agree. And I was lucky because I was able to do it too. You know, I was able to say, okay, I'm
You work
done.
harder than anyone I know. You've gone in and out. I mean, it's just, maybe it's the way you work, right? You have more
but for
flexibility.
that kind of, he's a multi-billion-dollar company, right? When you're making that insane kind of money, right? People kind of convince you, oh, you know, we'll pay you $100 million. Well, if you have $100 million and you think you need $100 million more, you've missed the point of your life, right?
I think so, but why don't,
I mean, if you're going to keep running, like I used to say to my friends who were super famous, you already ran the race, you already won, take off your sneakers, relax, buy an island, enjoy.
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
hard, right?
No, because that may not be everybody's groove. You know, that might not be for everybody. I mean, my kids said to me when I first got famous, why do you have to do this? And I was like, because at some point in time, it's going to make me feel better. Because I like what I do, and because it's such an anomaly to people that it's me, I'm sticking around just to mess with them. And she said, oh. And that was how we handled it. But a lot of my friends who are famous and not famous, you know, people who are working 2 or 3 jobs would love to be able to quit to go to the recitals and stuff. But it's, you know, it's hard, and kids don't figure it out till they're much older.
And they don't
why
always
did you
appreciate
quit?
it.
Yeah.
I quit because my mother died at 39, and I knew when I took the show that I would hit 40 right at the 6-year mark, and I was determined to be retired at 40. And my oldest child was 7, and I wanted to be around to do all the things you have to do at school, and I was lucky I got to do that. However, when he was 12, he said to me,
Go back to
why the hell are you always home? It's very annoying. You're at every single event of mine.
Yes.
You scream my name too loud in the soccer game.
Yeah.
You should just get a job. Everybody else's parents have a job.
Yes. Yes.
I'm like, thank you, honey. I'm glad I worked my ass off to get us right here where you don't enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, this is the luxury of being a teenager.
Right.
That's what teenagers do. They don't get it till they get it, and you gotta love them because you were the same way. Now, you may want to get your kids out of the room, seriously, for this one, because, you know, you might not be comfortable with it, so we'll wait. All right.
There you go.
You know, apparently, you do not need a partner to join the Mile High Club. A Virgin America flight had to be diverted because a passenger who was, quote, furiously masturbating in his seat. And people say to me, but why don't you fly? Hello? This is a good reason, because crazy stuff happens, and you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
I know you do.
Years ago, I'm in the coach section. I'm in there, and I'm thinking, oh, do we have turbulence? And the guy next to me is, you know, pleasing himself underneath the covers. Yes. Honey, I was shocked, and I didn't know what to do, and I just got
like a red eye, or was it just a regular day? Was it like the light of day, or was it like, did he think everyone was...
I don't think he needed a reason. And I got up, went over to the flight attendant, and I said, this man is over here pleasing himself. And she said, don't worry, I'll take care of it in a minute. I said, I think he's going to be taking care of it sooner than you get there. And I just couldn't believe it. And when I went back to the seat, the man went, I went, oh.
Well, you know, crazy stuff happens on flights. I've had people die next to me. I mean, it's like, you know, you're not dead. Do you know this? You're not dead on a plane until you land in a port.
Right.
So you're like, really?
Yeah.
And they don't, you can't move them.
Did they land? I mean, they had to...
No,
they
we were
didn't land
over
sooner?
ocean. We were over ocean.
Well,
so,
would you rather someone die, or you know what?
you know what? People come and go all the time, so I don't know. But, you know, there is a jailbreak that we want to tell you about, because we think you should be aware of this, because it's a video that's going viral right now.
Oh, wow.
Please take a look at this. It's a German Shepherd who helps a friend in need. Now watch this. Hey, man, you know what you need to... She won't cover on me. Come here, man. Take it off. Take it off. Oh, thank God. Let me out of here. You want me to open the door? Yes, fool. Open the door. Open the door. Come on, just... Come on now. Thank you.
They look like they had something going on.
I think there were torn up things in that house, pillows all over the place, and shoes gone to hell in a handbasket.
And puppies on the way.
That's right. We'll be right back.
Coming up, Viola Davis is talking about the sex, scandal, and sizzle around the hottest show of the season.
How to get away with murder.
Since he took over the anchor chair at ABC World News Tonight, and he's already ratings to the roof. It's crazy. Please welcome our friend David Muir. Hey, David.
I love what you've done with the place.
We did it ourselves. They made us come in on Sunday, and we had to paint. No, we really didn't.
Come on over to World News.
Yeah.
It's going really well. It's like we're off and running. You know, the show had a lot of momentum, and I think we've taken off. I think the big goal is to push this evening newscast forward and to be out there reporting in the field, and that's where we've been.
And it's what you've always wanted to do, because there's this great picture of you.
Yeah.
It's a great picture of you as a kid. You know.
Same hair.
You know, it's kind of wonderful. And you behind a news desk, man. So you're where you've always wanted to be.
Well, you know, the 13-year-old intern, and I dreamed of this job. But I have to tell you, Whoopi, I never thought I would get the shot at the job and at this moment, which I think is so critical, because the evening newscast is not what it was when we were all growing up. That was an announcer. Jennings was amazing, and I loved him. I watched him every night. But announcing the news from a desk. And I think that we're moving this forward, where it's not a one-way conversation, it's a two-way conversation. You know, I'm tweeting in the commercial breaks, and they often ask, well, who's tweeting? And I'm thinking, well, who else would be?
Right.
And you know, Made in America, the viewers now tell me where I need to go next, which town I need to go to. And you know, we got to the Syrian border in the first week of the debut of World News.
Do you think this is part of of your success in this role, that I think the job has changed, like you said, and you have to be connected, not just for that half an hour, but all day. That's what people want to know.
Yeah, and you can't waste their time anymore, because you're getting bombarded with information all day long. And as you know, Nicole, you can hop a flight with a laptop computer and your producer, if you're lucky to have a great partner in crime, and go anywhere in the world and get on the air. And I think that that's what the viewer expects now. You know, if I just sat there at the desk, they'd say, what happened to that guy? He was the one out there reporting, and so that's not going to change.
Well, Rosie's got a great question for you.
Yeah, I do have a great question. Yesterday we were talking about Syria and ISIS, ISIL, what have you, and I was talking on the show about the imminent threats of beheadings of civilians throughout the world. And when I went home, my friends were like, why are you cowing down to this fear-mongering? And then, lo and behold, unfortunately, this man in Europe is kidnapped by ISIS sympathizers and is beheaded.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a debate we have every morning and all day long in the newsroom, is how much of that video, if any at all, are you going to show on the evening news that night? Because you have to be aware that that's part of a propaganda war going on.
What do you guys, so what's like, the people arguing to show it, what do they say? And the people who don't want to show it, what do they, what's the debate?
Listen, I think we're very careful. I think, you know, when there's a huge development, you have to explain what that development is, but you cannot be...
And that's why we talked about it yesterday.
You can't be gratuitous with it.
Right.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Yeah. Now, you have a special coming on, and it's a special about a really scary case, the Slender Man case.
Yeah, this was something. And Rosie, you know, we've been journeying with this family for many weeks now, all summer long. And a courageous family. This is a mom and dad, very involved with their children. And a typical Friday night in America, they were sending their daughter on a sleepover. They knew one of the girls, that the house she was going to, they knew her well. She'd come to their house for sleepovers. They knew the parents. It was a birthday party at roller skating. And so they sent their daughter, and as you know, she didn't come home the next day. They get the call, and she'd been taken into the woods and stabbed 19 times. These girls told police that they did this to her to impress a character on the internet, a fictional character named Slender Man. And I talked to the parents, and here's what they talked about.
The clip from the first time, talking about the first time they saw their daughter, right?
In the hospital. Here's what they said.
So I walked into the trauma room that she was in, and she was pale as a ghost. She was terrified. She was crying. She couldn't breathe.
But she saw you there.
She saw me, and she put her hand out, and I rushed over to her, and I put my arms around her, and I laid next to her, and I hugged her, and I said, "You're going to be okay. It's going to be fine." But I could see that she was covered. Her arms and her legs and her abdomen, they were covered in stab wounds.
Where on earth do you think she got the strength to crawl out of those woods?
When we asked her, she said, "I wanted to live."
Oh, my God. How is she doing today? How's their daughter doing today?
Well, she's 12, and you'll meet her in this hour. She's going to have a struggle her whole life because of what happened, but she's also one of the strongest little girls you will ever meet. Her smile has returned. They told me that was their biggest fear, was that this beautiful smile had been stolen from their daughter. So we'll show you what makes her smile again. And I have to say that these parents, because of the way this family is and how loving they are, they told me, we think about those other parents too. We think about those other parents too.
Two girls must be mentally ill. One of them claims that she hears commands from Star Trek, that she can speak to Harry Potter through Lord Voldemort in her head. So obviously we're dealing with some fairly significant mental illness, which is another horrible crisis in the United States. How do we treat mentally ill children?
And how do we open up a conversation, not only with our children, because it's not just one computer in the home anymore, where you say, here are the rules of the internet. You send them to bed, they have the phone, they're texting, they're emailing. So we go into schools across America, a classroom 900 miles away, and we ask the kids, the parents allowed us in, how many of you have heard of Slender Man? Everyone in the class raised their hand.
Wow.
The parents were listening with headphones out in the hall. So everyone in that class knew this fictional character.
Had no idea, though.
Yeah.
Parents had no idea what was happening.
Yeah, and Wolfie, it's not blaming Slender Man or these fictional characters. It's just creating a conversation not only with your children, but with the parents of your children's friends, without putting them on the defensive, but just say, you know, what are your kids fearful of on the internet?
And also paying attention. I mean, you know, yes, life is really tough and there's a lot to do, but these are your kids. And if you're not paying attention to what they're doing, then you're not meant to be their friends. You're the guide. You've got to know what your kids are doing. You've got to do it.
Right.
It's just there's no way around it.
Spyware available on computers and iPhones. Spyware works.
We'll put it on our website. Because Rosie's got a lot of good ideas. There's a lot of stuff you can do, and maybe we can help some folks.
And Whoopi, everyone has to see this 12-year-old though, because she's smiling again. So you have to watch. It'll
Definitely watch.
You know, the season premiere of 2020, David Muir reporting out of the woods, airs tomorrow night at 10 p.m. right here on ABC. Watch it.
Yes.
Watch it. We'll be right back.
Up next, Viola Davis reveals why she's banned her husband from the set of her sexy, scandalous, must-see new show.
Every season, there's one show that creates so much buzz, it becomes the must-see obsession. And this year, it's How to Get Away with Murder. Ooh. Starring Ms. Viola Davis as a tough defense attorney and professor who lays down the law to her students. Take a look.
Congratulations to those who managed to keep your seat. That said, none of you beat my approach, which goes as follows. Step 1, discredit the witnesses. Step 2, introduce a new suspect. That person is Mr. Kaufman's jealous business partner, Lionel Bryant. Step 3, we bury the evidence. We throw so much information at the jury that they walk into the deliberation room with one overwhelming feeling, doubt. That's how you get away with murder.
Ooh, yes. Please welcome Ms. Viola Davis. Yeah.
Love the hair.
Love that. And can we give it up for this amazing body? It's just ridiculous. You know, this show is getting like big buzz.
Yes.
And created by Miss Shonda Rhimes,
Yes.
we might say. And I just want to remind everybody how fabulous you are. You, 2 Oscars, honey. 2 for doubt and for the help.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes.
Yes. And also your Broadway work that Oh,
26-year career.
26-year
I've been out there
career.
professionally for 26 years. Yep.
Yeah. And how did Shonda get you to do this television show?
It was easy to get me to do this TV show. I'd like to say it was, you know, something very complicated. But all the roles I've ever gotten, you've seen the roles I've gotten, they've been wonderful, but so many of them have been downtrodden. You know, they've been women who are pretty much asexual, they haven't been realized, they have careers but no names. And so all of a sudden I was given this opportunity to play someone sexy, mysterious, someone complicated. And it was a chance to use my craft. It was a chance to transform. It was a chance to surprise myself and the public. And I took it. I know so many actors in their careers, their 70s, 80s, fantastic actresses of color who have never been given this opportunity. I'm just so thankful it came to me at this point in my life.
You shouldn't be thankful, you deserve it. You're such a talent. You really are.
Thank you.
And I have to say, the sexiness. The sexiness displayed, girl, she is a hot mess in this show. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch. You are intelligent, you are fierce, and you are sexy.
Yeah, I think that's that. All no good. I mean, listen, I see myself as those things in my life.
Yeah.
But I very rarely have seen people who are a physical manifestation of me on the screen.
Yeah.
You know, when I was younger, it was people like Cicely Tyson and Diane Carroll and Madge Sinclair who, you know, made me believe that I could do it. Yeah. And then somewhere along the line, they disappeared, you know. And so, yeah, once again, I'm glad that Shonda Rhimes saw me, that she saw me. And she took me in when I did I interview with Oprah, and I said, you know, no one's ever going to cast me in a sexy role. And Shonda looked at that interview and said, well, why not? And I'm glad she said, why not? Yeah. I think that's what makes her a visionary. That's what makes her special. That's why she's iconic.
Well, you know, she's also, she casts herself.
She does.
She can see. That's why she sees you.
Yep,
know?
absolutely.
But it seems that other people have a little bit of, they don't quite get it, which I find insanely amusing. The New York Times seems shocked. Let me say it again, shocked. And called Chandra an angry black woman. And said you were less classically beautiful than typical TV stars. Now, isn't beauty, I don't know, subjective?
I think that beauty is subjective. I've heard that statement my entire life, being a dark-skinned black woman.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You hear it from the time you come out of the womb. And it's classically not beautiful is a fancy term of saying ugly.
Yeah.
And denouncing you. Erasing you. Now, it worked when I was younger. It no longer works for me now.
Go ahead.
Because, you know, it's like Ruby Dee said, you know, that she wanted that beauty, that hard-to-get beauty that comes from within. Strength, courage, and dignity. And what you're seeing now are so many black women came out after that article, and they used the hashtag not classically beautiful or whatever, and they're showing their face, and they're stepping into who they are because they're teaching a culture how to treat them and how to see them. Because really, at the end of the day, you define you.
Yeah. There you go.
Can you talk about Hunger is? Can you explain to us what Hunger is?
Oh, yeah. Hunger is a charity I work for through the Entertainment Industry Foundation, Safeway Foundation, to eradicate childhood hunger in this country. 17 million children suffer from hunger in this country. And a lot of teachers say that 3 out of 5 of their kids will not even have a meal that day.
You're wonderful.
And,
You're wonderful, and thank you for coming. Our thanks to Ms. Viola Davis. How to Get Away with Murder premieres tonight at 10 p.m. right here on ABC. We'll be right back.
Next, It's the baby video you have to see. A new mom and dad are showing you the incredible speedy delivery of their little miracle.
Look at my girl, baby. You just hold on. You just hold on.
Imagine you're on the way to the hospital when your very pregnant fiance says, honey, this baby is not going to wait. You hit the gas and hit the record button on your cell phone. Take a look.
Hey, talk to me, girl. We gonna get you there. We gonna get you there. You just hold on. You just hold on. You just hold on. That's daddy. Yeah. Hey, you okay? You all right? You just hold on. We got you covered. Look at my girl, baby. We going 120 trying to get there, girl. You just hold on. Rub her, baby. Let her know you love her. Let her know you love her.
Please welcome new parents Corey Griffith, Diamond Jones, and their 18-day-old beautiful baby, Corey Lynn.
Isn't she gorgeous? Everybody would be clapping, but I don't want them to wake her up.
Rosie has issued an edict, no clapping.
I'm the boss of all infants on the set. Okay, let me ask this. Did you take the prenatal classes? Were you doing the preparing for Lamaze? What was happening?
Actually, no, I did not take any classes, but I did do a lot of research. I had the What to Expect app. I looked on YouTube. I Googled many questions. So I did, a lot of research.
So you go into labor, your water breaks, you're at home?
Yes, I was at home.
You figure you have how long?
Not long, 15 minutes max. So Corey was actually helping me get dressed and prepared to go because I was already feeling the need to push while we were on our way out.
Wow.
So I just pushed once while we were en route, and the head was out, and I looked over at Corey. I said, baby, the head is out. I can't sit back down. And so he reached over and felt the head, and he hit the gas.
Okay, talk to me about this move, though. Foot on the gas, foot on the head. I have
you didn't pull over? You just kept driving?
He put on the gas and hand on the head.
When I reached over, I felt the head, and I said, oh, no. And I attempted to put pressure on it, but then I said, hey, we have to get there. And so before I knew it, instinctively, I hit the gas, and before I knew it, I looked back, and we were going 120, and I said, oh, no. And it was by the grace of God. It couldn't have been me. That car stayed in the road, the camera stayed steady, and I was able to capture the first moments.
Okay, so you're driving while your child is being born, and you have an in-focus iPhone video?
Who are you?
Who are you? You're like a secret CIA spy person from a movie.
I'm not sure, but it was something that
Now, can I ask kind of personal question? Did you have anything on the bottom when you pushed the first time?
Yes, I actually had on black sweatpants, and when the head came out, I removed the pants so that I could push again.
Okay.
And I just made sure that she was okay. I checked. I wanted to make sure the umbilical cord wasn't tangled, and she was perfect.
We have something for you guys because we think you are so amazing, the most amazing people that I've ever met.
Yeah. But I have one more question before we do this. So when the baby came out, you caught the baby? You caught her yourself?
Yes.
You lifted her out.
He was filming and driving and delivering, so she had to catch
You
the baby.
pushed and lifted, and then you held her, and then you're sitting there with, nothing on, just your T-shirt, a little bit of afterbirth, and he's the one screaming? I want to say that I love you and I want to be your friends. And we have a little gift for you from the company of Huggies. They are giving you a year's supply of diapers for your baby. Huggies are really amazingly wonderful products, and there is a line I have to say about them that should be coming up soon on the prompter, Mommy hopes. Boy, she used to be professional. Huggies. 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed recommend sugarless Huggies for their patients who chew Huggies. Huggies, thank you. We love you. Don't you love Huggies?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Will you come back every year and update us on her progress? And once a year, we'll give you a gift. All right? All right. Huggies, thanks. We'll be right back after this. Congratulations. You're amazing people with a beautiful, beautiful baby.
Thank you so much.
Don't go away. I love her. That is so amazing.
Welcome back. September 25th is always kind of a very special day around here. It's where we raise a glass to the woman who brought us all together in the first place. Yeah. It's a happy birthday Barbara Walters moment. So let's take a look back at some of the ways you've seen us celebrate her on The View for her birthday. Take it away.
birthday, rather than her having to steal napkins, we would go ahead and just bring the stuff to her.
We'll do some Broadway kicking. That's that funky chicken. Don't delay. Shout hooray! It's your day.
So, happy birthday, Barbara Walters. Everyone, have a great day on her and take a little time to enjoy the view.
Woo!